Hello, I am Jennifer Wortman, Professor of English at South Puget Sound Community College. In almost every college course you take, you will be assigned reading, often challenging readings with ideas and terminology that you may not be familiar with. And it's not just the language and ideas that are different than what you might read for fun. The purpose of reading is different too. With college reading, you may be asked to read for summarizing, you may be asked to read in order to apply key concepts, or you may be asked to write a response to something that you've read. So to help tackle the challenges of college reading, this video introduces a strategy called talking to the text. No matter your reading experience or confidence level, with a little practice, talking to the text can help you better understand what you are reading and connect new material to what you already know. When you use talking to the text strategy, you don't actually talk to the text. Instead, you engage in a silent conversation with the text by recording your thoughts in writing while you read, allowing yourself to ask questions, to make connections, or to respond to the ideas on the page. This conversation may include writing in the margins, highlighting, underlining, circling, or drawing. Let's see what talking to the text looks like in action. Imagine that you are taking an English course in which you have been assigned to write a paper about happiness. To ensure that you understand the instructions, you decide to use talking to the text on the assignment sheet itself. Here's what that process might look like. In this example, you will hear me vocalize my thoughts. But again, when you do the talking to the text yourself, you don't literally have to speak out loud. The written annotations are the most important. In response to last week's readings, what readings? Write a 2-page essay that describes what happiness means to you personally. Only 2 pages? Include a brief definition of what you think happiness is. Okay, need to make sure I have a brief definition. And provide specific examples from your experience that illustrates your main points. In addition, reflect how your definition of happiness compares to those presented in our 2 readings. It's a lot. Do I need to cover all that? How does your definition differ? How is it the same? What do you think you and the authors arrived at different conclusions? Do I need to answer all these? For full credit, include at least 2 quotes from the readings formatted according to MLA. So at least 2 quotes. Does it have to be both readings? Or can they just be from one? As you can see from my example, talking to the text allows you to respond freely to what you're reading, giving you the space to make connections, ask questions, and record your observations. Of course, if you were talking to the text with an assignment sheet you saw in the example, your annotations would be different than mine, because what you would note, what your original thoughts are, or your questions will be different. In other words, there is no correct way to annotate a document. You may have also noticed that the process takes more time than it would if you simply read over the page silently without annotating. That slowness is actually a good thing. While it may take you a little bit more time annotating, it's also going to mean that your comprehension of the text is better, which means that you'll be more prepared to write in response to that text. This is the difference between passive reading and active reading. In the long run, reading actively with a strategy like talking to the text is actually going to save you time because you retain a clearer sense of both the text ideas and you have an idea of your own response to those ideas. Give talking to the text a try on your next reading assignment, writing prompt, or even class syllabus. You will find that your comprehension will improve, and over time, you will develop your own system for annotating. Thanks for watching, and happy reading.